Kathmandu Valley fast turning into a COVID-19 hotspot. All eyes have been on the modus operandi of the local authority in dealing with this pandemic. However, sadly enough, their initiation or lack of it has been a matter of great concern in dealing with the ongoing crisis. The raid Machindranath debacle on Friday serves as just a case in point, as the incident could have been well avoided and stemmed the possibility of community spread of the virus. Good morning, I'm Amar Singh Pradhan and these are the headlines of the hour. 2 more deaths related to COVID-19 reported this morning to take the death tally to 290. Kathmandu Valley witnesses a surge in cases despite the ongoing prohibitory order. The government decides to blacklist 2 companies for failing to procure fertilizers despite massive demand in the market. Protests flare up in Hong Kong against a government decision to delay legislative elections. Police charged of taking brutal suppressive action. And top seed Novak Djokovic disqualified from US Open 4th round match after accidentally hitting a ball at a line judge. Two more deaths due to coronavirus has been reported this morning, while 97 additional positive cases have been confirmed as of the latest updates. The death tally due to COVID-19 in the country has climbed to 290 with latest deaths. Among the 2 deaths reported in Morang, a 76-year-old man succumbed to the virus early morning today while he was being treated in Kosi Hospital. The man had tested positive for the virus on 26th of August. Likewise, the swab sample of another man from Buriganga, Morang, aged 52, who died yesterday afternoon, tested positive for coronavirus. The COVID focal person of Birat Medical College, Dr. Puru Koirala, confirmed the case. The deceased had high blood pressure and diabetes-related complications. Meanwhile, 31 people, including 6 health professionals in Kaski district, tested positive for coronavirus. Likewise, 30 individuals in Chitwan, 18 in Gorkha, 15 in Nawalparasi East and 3 in Tanahu tested COVID-19 positive. The infection tally in the country has reached 46,287, while 28,941 individuals have recovered from the virus. The local administration of the Kathmandu Valley have issued a prohibitory order in a bid to minimize the risk of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has in a number of ways crippled general public life. The number of cases has increased in recent days despite the prohibitory order, questioning the decision-making ability of the local administrations. On 19th of August, a total of 159 new cases were confirmed in the Kathmandu Valley, while the total number of cases in the valley was 2,295. The local administrations of the valley, in the meantime, issued the prohibitory order on the same day, suspending all movements other than emergency services. However, all efforts of chief district officers of the valley have turned futile in controlling the pandemic despite issuing prohibitory order for the past 3 weeks. The Kathmandu Valley had witnessed a record number of COVID-19 cases, adding more than 6,000 cases in the last 3 weeks, which exhibits that the local authorities have failed in controlling the surging cases of the infection. The scuffle during the chariot pulling of Rato Machindranath is one of the examples of the local authorities' failure in avoiding the incident, as it has increased the risk of transmission. More than 18 policemen deployed to control the crowd were later detected positive for COVID-19. Meanwhile, the local administrations in Bake and Parsa have been exemplary in successful containment of the COVID-19 spread in the districts during the prohibitory period. Both the districts that had witnessed severe community transmission have recorded low number of cases these days, and the local authorities have limited the prohibitory areas in the district depending upon the risk. Experts opine the local authorities need to evaluate their weaknesses and should address the problem with the coordination of those who are facing challenges in sustaining their lives during the prohibitory period, along with taking measures in controlling the pandemic. The government has authorized private laboratories to test swab samples for COVID-19 detection. However, the Insurance Board recently has made a controversial decision of not giving validity to the tests from those private laboratories. The Insurance Board has formed an investigation committee as the decision has been widely criticized, and the board has been blamed for working under the influence of vested insurance companies. We have more in this report.
Insurance companies had introduced the Corona Insurance Scheme in the third week of April following the directives from the Insurance Board. The scheme includes two policies in which 300 rupees is charged for insurance of up to 50,000 rupees, while 600 rupees is charged for insurance of up to 100,000 rupees. Around 950,000 people have already bought policies since the beginning of the scheme. However, insurance companies have started facing challenges for payment as more than 1,000 cases have been recorded in the country on a daily basis in recent days. The Insurance Board, under the influence of such insurance companies, have made a controversial decision not to recognize tests carried out by private laboratories for insurance payment. The government has allowed 13 private laboratories for the test of COVID-19, and the Health Ministry includes the data provided by these laboratories in its daily national update. However, the decision not to recognize the tests from those private laboratories authorized by the Health Ministry itself has been widely criticized, blaming the Insurance Board for acting under the influence of insurance companies. Insurance companies have already collected more than 530 million rupees under the Corona Insurance Scheme. However, merely 250 people have received payments till date, while 1,500 people have already claimed for insurance. Following criticisms from all corners, the Insurance Board has decided to pay the claims made until now after evaluations from the Grant Management Committee, and is in the mindset to amend the criteria of the Corona Insurance Scheme. The Insurance Board, in its recently made criteria list, has mentioned to pay insurance claims based on the tests carried out only in government laboratories. However, it has maintained silence on tests carried out by private laboratories. The Insurance Board has no alternative but to give recognition to the tests done in private laboratories.
The government has decided to blacklist the two companies, Sailung and Honika Enterprises, along with scrapping their contracts after they failed to procure fertilizers despite massive demand in the market. The Agriculture Ministry has cancelled the contracts with Sailung Enterprises and Honika Multiple Limited that have failed to procure chemical fertilizers worth 2 billion rupees. The ministry has also decided to recommend the Public Monitoring Office to blacklist these companies as part of the action taken against them. According to the Agriculture Ministry, along with the cancellation of the contracts, the government will seize the deposited amount of 50 million rupees each from both the companies and force both the enterprises to compensate. A spokesperson for the Agriculture Ministry, Hari Bahadur Kesi, informed that the ministry has forwarded the legal procedures to compensate for the loss incurred by failing to procure chemical fertilizers. The government had contracted to procure 50,000 tons of chemical fertilizers with two companies in January and February this year. As per the contract, both the companies had to procure fertilizers by 5th of August. However, following the failure to procure the fertilizers, both the companies had asked for an extension of the deadline. And in our Public Voice segment, we had asked the freed Kamaiyas of Dadildura what problems have they been facing since the announcement of the end of the practice of bonded labours. Let's take a look at what they have to say.
Public Voice.
जैसँग सबै चिज सम्पन्न भइहाल्छ टाढोबाट चाहिँ उहिले कभर गगले पाइदियो जो खासै अलि उनीहरु केही तसा छुटिया अथवा तनले घबर गतै अवस्थाको पा
कसैको तथ्याङ्कबाट नाउै बढ्या छैन अब दलित छन् पीडित छन् कोही बताए अपाङ्ग छन् कोही पीडित छन् सब गरिब छौं बाकी इसाई छौं रे पाउने सुविधा कहीँबाट ल्याए हामी वञ्चितमा छौं
किनारमा पाउनु भने कसैले किनारमा पाएन बीच ठाउँमा जग्गा दियो उनलाई बाटो घाटो पनि छैन उनीहरु मतलब त्यो जग्गा दिया के जनविचार लिनु परेको छ
मालिकले पनि केही नदिने अवस्था बनेको छ सरकारबाट पनि पूर्णता रूपले केही नपाएको अवस्था छ अनि बिचल्लीमा पडेका छन्
सरकारले चाहिँ त्यही पुनर्स्थापनामा त्यो 2 लाख 2.5 लाख 1 लाख 25 मा भुल्याएको अवस्था छ त्यसमा चाहिँ अब हामी हलिहरुलाई यता न उता घर न घाटको जस्तो भएको अनुभूति भइरहेको छ
And now time for our segment Public Pulse, where it texts us with their opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, why have administrations of the Kathmandu Valley failed in controlling the COVID-19 pandemic? Our options are: option A, relying only on prohibitory order; option B, limiting test parameters; and option C, lack of government coordination. The voting is on. Tab NAWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's now time for our special segment of The Beat.
Vultures are considered natural scavengers, feeding on carcasses of dead animals, big or small, and thereby cleaning the environment. Even as the vultures have been providing a crucial ecosystem service for ages, its number in Nepal is dwindling, mainly attributed to global warming, fast urbanization, poor habitat, pesticide pollution, and veterinary use of diclofenac on pet animals. Nepal is now home to some 20,000 vultures of 9 species, 6 resident and 3 foreign, while the number of vultures back in 1980 stood at an astounding 1.6 million. The scenario means that all the species of vulture found in Nepal are now listed as endangered. Studies suggest that diclofenac, an anti-inflammatory drug widely used to treat livestock, is the prime cause of vultures' declining population. The vultures are exposed to diclofenac when they feed on carcasses of livestock containing toxic residue of the drugs. In the recent years, the government and the private sector have made conscious efforts towards the vulture conservation, as vulture breeding center and vulture conservation foundations have been set up in places such as Chitwan, Dang, Rupandehi, Kailali and Nawalparasi. In the face of lockdown and prohibitory orders, amid the novel coronavirus pandemic, the lifestyle of people too have changed to a great deal. Narendra Shah, a college lecturer from Dhangadi, has started the profession of selling meat as the classes are much limited due to the pandemic. Shah views that there are no works big or small and that his latest enterprise has served him well during this time of lockdown. Shah runs his store at Dhangadi Park as his business runs well during the stipulated time chalked out by the local administration to sell essential commodities. Shah, who has an academic degree in hotel management, has taught at Dhangadi's Western Academy for over a decade, while he is also associated with the reputed Kailali Multiple College for the past 6 years. 2 youths from Pokhara have also utilized their time of lockdown as they have resorted to duck farming. They have been making a good income from their latest enterprise. Earlier, the lockdown imposed by the government in late March had taken its toll on the poultry farming run by the 2 youths from Pokhara, Vishnu Hari Neupane and Guru Prasad Paudel. As an alternative to their ailing business, they started the new venture of duck farming, which bore immediate, fruitful results. They leased 20 ropanis of land for 12 years and started the agro and breeding farm at an investment of 15 million rupees. The 2 youths started their farming by bringing in 2,600 ducklings of Campbell, Chinese Peking and Muscovy species. The ducks in the farm are given organic feed as consumers reach out to the farm to pick the ducks of their choices between 1,200 to 2,500 for every male duck. This is Sarah Chitrakar for our special segment Off the Beat and Kantipur News Desk.
Stay with us for more news and entertainment on KTVSD. Stay safe and good day.